So 3, 2, 1. I think we're live. Tyler's going to confirm in a second.
Just gonna keep refreshing.
Are you guys live? James, are you live? Eric, are you live?
Yep.
Awesome. Have you had your caffeinated beverages?
Nope.
Quite a while ago.
All right, Eric, since you've not been caffeinating, you're going to have to, go snort some pre-workout to get the energy level up here. Yeah.
If I had caffeine, I would bounce off the walls.
You remember when we were kids, we would play D&D for like 18 hours straight and take like a box of Viber in each to stay awake and like...
I remember the one weekend we tried to do it like from Friday to Sunday, and we were all like falling asleep mid-game.
Yeah.
It must have just not been exciting, dude. We didn't need caffeine. Like, we just had like the thrill of the game.
Byron's we didn't need caffeine. We had cocaine.
We had I played a game one time. We played the Temple of Elemental Evil, and my one friend went through 16 characters in one gaming session, and we never made it out of the first hallway.
Stream appears to be all good.
Amazing. Thank you for checking that, Tyler. Tyler, our resident stream checker. Better than being a pecker checker in the Navy. For sure. So here we are. For Vile Dawn on a Sunday. I think this is actually on schedule too, right? Like this is 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
That's what you said.
It's a Christmas miracle. So, I'm going to go around the horn, of course, as I do, and say hi to our players. I'm going to start with James to see what's going on. His lighting game is still strong. In fact, I think you might have improved the backlight a little. It's kind of nice. Cinematic. What's happening?
Yeah. Not a whole lot. Surviving the bad weather. Here to play.
Elaborate on bad weather. Tell the stream what happened so I don't have to.
There were just apparently tornadoes all around the area Saturday morning. I didn't have one near here, but the wind was loud enough to wake me up.
Do you think that the pictures that we've sent around of the neighborhoods, do you think that's what the scene looks like when Red Rocket does one of his tornado things?
That sounds about right,
yeah. I think we'll have to keep that narrative in mind. Good. So you're here? You're happy to be playing?
Yep.
Cool. I'm still trying to find some heroic music that we can play for our episode today. So we'll move to Eric, Spectral Avenger. What's that behind you? Oh, the alleyway. Spooky alleyway?
Yeah, pretty much.
You're like, no, there's an exercise ball back there still. Hey, Thorg.
I wanted to set the mood right, so I had to just go find the right place to...
All right. Fucking tell us something. Some kind of something. What's going on with you? You also had some tornadoes because you live in the same town with James and I, but
Yep.
I
didn't have any personally. They were across town from me, but my wife was out that morning and got to see all of the traffic snarl ups and tree limbs down and saw the animal clinic that was all torn up. So
what?
Yeah.
There's an animal clinic torn up.
Yeah, the one on yeah.
You're like the one on. No, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
I don't either. I slept right through it. I woke up and I'm just like, crap, it's raining. I was going to start my sort of exercise routine and then I just went back to sleep. Came out here and I was like setting up a new studio computer for music stuff, and Lee comes out and she's like, "Hey, did you hear there's a tornado by your daughter's apartments?" And I was like, "Yeah, whatever, it's fine. Happens all the time around here." And she goes, "Did you see the pictures?" I pull up my phone and I'm like, "Holy shit! It looks like Putin was here." It's like, it's bad.
Too soon.
Oh, it's not too soon. Because it did look like
Closing
he'd been here for
buildings
sure.
and, like furniture hanging out.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucked.
It was scary looking.
And that's cool. That's just, this is usually our
Rim
mild,
shot.
chill weather season too, right? So I can't wait until hurricane season comes when the apocalypse comes out of the toilet and, just kills us all. Okay, I found some creepy music. I like this. This will work. Fine. Enough of your nonsense, Eric. Moving on. Byron, what's up?
We had 3 inches of snow out of nowhere on Friday night. Took us like 2 hours to drive back from our game. That was pretty exciting.
That's cold.
Yeah, it was. It was completely cold.
What's the temperature going to be for
That is like it was.
Chaosium Con? Because I'm coming up. That's in 2 weeks or something like that, right? 2, 3
I
weeks.
mean, it's Michigan. I don't
Probably
know.
cold.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's supposed to be like in the 60s in Columbus next weekend, so I'm not sure. You could have to probably figure it out 10-day forecast.
Yeah. I think I'm going to wear long underwear
Yeah.
and shorts. I'm going to be that guy.
I figure spring there is probably like winter, a bad winter for
yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly. I can't wait.
Somewhere in there.
I'm just excited to have us all together, and I'm gonna sort of vlog it as we go. Be that guy, hand out stickers and shirts and koozies.
Absolutely.
Do we have koozies? We should order some koozies. People need koozies.
I don't know. Whatever you're bringing is what we got.
I was like, ought to be the merch mule. Awesome. Cool. So, how are you though? You're good, and you're ready to do some nonsense here.
Absolutely.
Great. So far, 3 or 4 are ready. I'm not, but that's all right. We'll get there. Mr. Tyler, what's up?
Not much. Speaking of Friday, we just started our Pathfinder game back up.
Nice. Same
We're getting
characters?
back
Same
into-
characters? New characters?
Yeah, same character. We were just taking a break, giving Brent a little break from running.
Nice.
So he doesn't have to run 6 books straight, but
Yeah. Yeah. That's it with Pathfinder. There's so much printed material, and if you're going with stuff like that, especially something epic like, was it Kingmaker that you guys are doing?
War for the Crown.
War for the Crown. Yeah, it's like we started out, was it the Carrion Crown or something? And I like this sort of
Terrible game.
Yeah, I like the pulpy horror though. I thought it was kind of clever. Maybe not clever is not the word. Fun.
We were attracted to it because of the horror aspect and just I felt like it fell flat
It wound up being like creature
compared to some of the
feature.
other campaigns.
It was literally like to the players would be like, okay, so let me see, it was Frankenstein last time, then it was werewolves. Huh? What's it going to be now? Oh, it's going to be vampires next, probably, right?
Oh, yeah, cool. I wasted all my characters' money buying stuff preparing for werewolves. And that's going to change next book, and there's no point in doing anything.
Yes, absolutely.
That summed it up. Yeah, that summed it up pretty good.
Well, the good news is, folks, let me hit this button and get the creepy music going again because it stopped itself. Or maybe I stopped it on accident. I think I stopped it on accident. No, not that loud. All right. So you guys ready to play some Savage Worlds, Vile Dawn? You guys ready to get going? Okay.
I thought this was the Deadlands game. My bad.
Fuck you. Yeah, we
No,
had to
this one, it gets played.
we did have to cancel that one.
Oh, ouch.
That was on me. I had to cancel that one. I had some personal stuff come up. But so the sharp chop of helicopter blades in the air and the reflection of blue and red police lights, off of every brick on every building downtown there where Mordred's bookstore was. Sort of the last thing you remember. Everything's a bit of a blur. You're still kind of dizzy from the adrenaline and being in the moment. But it was pretty unavoidable. There was really no getting away from this one. You were pretty much surrounded. You would have had to fight your way out, which would have meant killing cops. Which, though that might be something that Mordred would do, the rest of you generally probably try not to do that. So you found your way to the first precinct, downtown Freedom City. the ghost shimmering along behind Mordred blocks girl after her transformation back from being a weird fucking pink Lego hippo. And then the cute little dog that just won't shut up. Where are we going? Where are we going? What's going on? Where are we going?
Oh, no, I'm not talking at
You're just
all.
barking?
I'm just barking.
So, I'm going to ask, while you were at the police department, because that's not really where we're going to start, per se, how open and honest would you have been? Guess we'll start with Mordred.
I would stay in armor, but I would say who I am.
So you would have...
Mordred Pendrag.
And so, actually, we are going to go there. So, sitting there, and you just picture this precinct desk, right? And they've got these old, like, Dell flat panel LCDs, despite the fact this is a high-tech time. Because remember, this is a little bit advanced from where we are today, and it's Freedom City, which is like, lasers and flying trains and shit. But they're still there with their
CSI Miami.
Yeah, they're still there with like their old technology, and you're kind of sitting there, just stacks of paper or whatever, in your armor. And I'll ask Donovan, are you visible all the time? You have to try to be invisible. How does that work?
I have to try to be invisible.
So you would just be sitting there shimmering
Pretty much.
in the police department. Okay. There's this moment where they explain that your dog, it's so is this a service animal? Pointing down to Red Rocket.
That'd be legal to ask that.
Is it?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a vest on.
He doesn't need a vest. He's a service animal.
This is Block's girl's response?
Yeah, this is
Okay.
my response. I just speak up over him.
So you're sitting there feigning like, you're just kind of patting your service dog. What would you have told them about what happened? Because it kind of comes that eyewitnesses suggest that you were involved in that nonsense back there. And that you might have saved some lives. Being a vigilante is not exactly legal, but the city owes you a debt of gratitude. Can you tell us more about what happened? Can you lift that? He says, about your armor.
No, I don't. I just ignore him. So that giant lump of meat that was on the roof threw a car at me, and a fight ensued from there, and you saw how it turned out.
Yeah, and he's writing down, like for his report, he's writing his notes. Okay, what do you remember what kind of car he threw? Do you remember what kind of car he threw at you?
I didn't quite catch the make and model as it went by.
It was a Hyundai.
Would that be the one that was in the window of the shop there?
Obviously.
He kind of looks at you like, he's nervous in your presence, like that kind of aggravated him, you could tell, but he's not, he's not going to like jump up and grab you by your throat or anything. So,
See why you're a police officer. Great attention to detail.
What is your connection to that locale? Eyewitnesses suggest that they were converging on that location.
We were just there. That store is a pretty quiet place.
So
until it isn't.
So you'd broken in the store then?
No.
Then what were you doing in the store? Open. Oh, it was open. I see. You a big fan of books, Mr. Mordred? Do you have a last name? He says. Because up until now, you've only referred to yourself as Mordred.
And Dragon.
Pen. That's... Really? He says.
Yes.
Like, okay. Your parents were hippies, he says. Okay, so bookstore's open. You're in there with your hologram, he says.
No, that's a ghost. As far as I can tell.
Fuck it. Okay. Give me a D4 roll, please. That's a ghost.
A one.
Okay. He now he looks at you, Donovan. Do you engage with him in any way, or are you just sort of there? Like
I'm just there.
Okay. This epic music is too epic. It's like
actually he might have some questions about a case you guys should probably be working on. We can get to that later.
Okay. What's that supposed to mean? A case.
Well, he was murdered.
So you're not kidding about him being... He slides back just a little bit to put some distance in between the two of you. Okay. Now, you notice as well that there are other cops and sort of investigative types that have gathered in the margins of the room. Like, kind of one looking into the break room holding a pot of coffee, kind of pouring it while he watches to see what the fuck's going on. A lot of, like, folks in actual uniform doing their thing. But there's this large area that's vacant around you. Like, everybody, even the people that would normally be sitting at those desks have moved away. So the reports of there seem to be a mass hallucination, but guy in armor flying on a motorcycle, a ghostly apparition, and
the science of it would be anti-gravity. It's not really flying because it doesn't have wings.
And as you complete that sentence, he's got a toothpick and he's kind of rolls it in his mouth and a hippo made out of Legos, he says.
Yeah. Well, technically it's made out of polypropylene plastics, but in the form of Legos, yes.
Okay, so look, and I don't know how to say this, but the supers were all gone. Are you?
Not all of them.
Are you holdouts? Can you tell us what happened to Power Guy? Who? Power Guy is the quintessential hi there kind of superhero. Do you know what happened to Power Guy?
He died.
Well, probably fucking dead.
He died. How is it that you come to be here? The mayor needs to know.
I've been here the whole time.
Well, see, because of that incident that happened down up the street, we were asked to come down here and give a statement. That's how we ended up here.
The mayor's going to want to know. The commissioner's going to want to know that you have these powers. Tell me about the attack. So I have these strange reports that say this RV thing just showed up in the middle of nowhere. Is that true?
I don't know how it got there, but that guy came out of it, picked a fight.
So he just got out of the vehicle and threw a car at you.
Pretty much.
That about sums it up.
So do you have some sort of beef, some sort of grudge? Was there a reason that he would have been trying to attack you?
Well, I plan on working to figure that out.
I see. Is there anything more that you can tell me to help fill in the blanks here? He says. Where's my book? There. Do you all sit in silence?
I was waiting for you to get back.
No, it's fine. I can hear you. It's not like I didn't get on a fucking monorail. I was just reaching for something.
So he might have been friends with that giant robot that shot up that soccer field earlier. Maybe he was pissed about that guy getting his ass beat.
So you were connected to that as well?
Yeah, I killed the robot.
That's what the news said, right?
Yeah, they had caught pictures of us, I'm pretty sure, at that point, too.
You get the news here?
We do. The concern that I have here is that pretty much all the supers are gone. All of them. And it's been that way for years.
See, all would be a finite number, and obviously, since we're still here, there's more of them.
He just kind of looks at you like a disapproving father or like a disapproving teacher would, right? As he looks
I know exactly what that look looks like.
He says, so there's quite a lot of damage to city property and private property as well. We're going to have to attribute some of that to you. CCTV footage has, in fact, captured some of the battle, and in particular, the The explosion that seems to have happened on top of the roof, though it wasn't caught entirely, it was clear that that was emanating from you, he says, to Blocks. Carry around explosives much? He says.
I kind of opened my jacket a little bit. No? What would make you think that it's explosive?
Give me... What kind of roll do I want to use here?
I thought you were supposed to make an investigation before you determined what happened.
Well, interestingly...
I watched CSI. That's the way it works.
Interestingly enough, investigations are only necessary where there's not clear video evidence. And what you're telling me is corroborating what I've seen on the video. As brief as it might have been, the damage to the block was devastating. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage that you did to the top of that building, young lady.
Good thing there's insurance, huh?
Maybe. Look, I don't know why you're trying to jerk me around. I'm trying to help you here. You could be in a fucking holding cell. You understand that, right? Freedom City doesn't take kindly to acts of terrorism, Missy, he says. With his crooked tie, he's got like his little styrofoam cup of coffee, and he takes a nice sip of it.
So how many innocent bystanders were hurt?
Well, that is actually a good point. None.
Oh, I guess it's not a terrorist attack then, because the definition of terrorist attack is when an attack on the civilian populace.
You kiss your mother with that mouth, little lady, he says.
My mother's dead, so I really don't kiss her much.
That's no surprise, he says. Look, we can play this one of two ways. I can arrest you here and now and throw you in a cell and pin all these charges on you. Or we can have a conversation about how maybe we could leverage your powers to help protect Freedom City. That's why we're sitting here. You and your service
considering
dog.
I'm a juvenile, leveraging that many charges against me would be probably problematic, but...
You'd be surprised, since you don't have an advocate and you don't have a parent to come bail you out. I do whatever the fuck I want.
Sounds like you're suggesting she should get an attorney.
Are you sure you can't raise that thing? He says. As he's looking, like, I'm picturing looking into it. It's like that kind of, shiny black, and it's just given like that fisheye view of his, his real kind of hawkish nose and his, little glasses. Why do we got to make it like this? You've been stirring up all kinds of trouble around here, and now you're caught.
Well, technically, we were just trying to shop at Bullseye, and trouble just kind of happened. Like, we didn't stir up anything.
Now, if you're an investigator, though, don't you find it a little interesting that the trouble seems to follow you everywhere you go? Bullseye?
Because when I investigate things, I tend to follow the facts.
Bullseye? A soccer field? So you're telling me you're investigating? Is that what you're doing?
No, we were just shopping. He needed dog treats. Now point to...
What were you doing at the soccer field? Oh, did you have soccer practice? Is that what it was? He kind of laughs.
What if I did? There is footage of me wearing a soccer uniform on that field.
What school do you attend?
MIT.
He literally spits coffee out on his paper, right? Oh yeah, what's your major at MIT? Sarcasm?
Particle physics and engineering.
Oh yeah, okay. So you're a scientist and okay. You got an OnlyFans too? Is that what you got?
I mean, I thought about it, but it doesn't really pay well. The income stream from it's just not as good unless you're on it all the time.
Okay. Which one of you can I talk to about coming to an arrangement. I got put on this case, and it's, if I'm being honest, it's kind of freaking me the fuck out. So we got vehicles transporting over a soccer field, threatening children, a giant robot coming out of nowhere and stomping around in the middle of a high school soccer game. We've got you, who apparently turn into plastic. We've got a ghost, and we've got a sci-fi Hell's Angel here, who thinks he's out of King Arthur.
Thanks.
Well, I think the person that probably would have the most to offer in the way of oration would be him, and I'll point to Red Rocket.
He looks down.
Arc for the dog.
Well, actually, it would probably be best to talk to me. I was just gathering information before I decided to speak.
Give me a D6 spirit roll.
Now you may freak out.
Give me a give me a D6. Somebody give me a D6 roll for his spirit.
Oh, I rolled D4. D6.
Yeah. So he stares at you for a second, and it's like the dread is growing, but then it's almost like he gets hit by this wave of fear. He literally shoots backwards, drops his coffee. What kind of trick is that? Is that dog talking?
It's not really a trick at all. You see, before you investigate, you probably shouldn't threaten the people who are helping people, and then you might gather more information. And
he's looking at each of you, like not looking at Red Rocket, like trying to figure out how you're making the dog talk.
Night, a girl who turns into plastic, a ghost, and a talking dog throws you totally off your game.
He's like overcome with the fact that you're actually talking, and you know you've got that wisp of like supernatural of energy that comes out. He's just like, oh, okay.
I'm gonna retract. I'm gonna pull one of my arms out and grab his paper and just start reading it to see what he's written down.
Single-handedly made the whole day better.
Copious notes, more or less a shorthand reflection of what's been said. He's got questions in the margins about connections. He says something like interdimensional ? Supers ? The thing that gets you is vile uniforms ! And this the color pen that's it's his little notebook, right? But the color pen is different, as if he might have not. He wrote it maybe earlier or something, maybe on the scene. Because again, this is hours later.
Oh yeah. Are these your notes? What is this vile uniform?
He snatches it back from you. Yes. Yeah, it's mine. Is he blind? I mean, he can talk, but I have been writing in this book.
I mean, I'm down here. I know your perception is 4 foot taller than mine.
I'm talking to a fucking dog. And there's like cops off, kind of like they're huddled and like pointing. And a couple of the uniformed officers have kind of moved in now that there's some movement and your little robot arm has come up. Yeah, what of it? A couple of the deceased, the attackers were wearing uniforms like Ignatius Vile, his troopers. Same
Are you
weapons.
in charge here, or can we really speak to that man?
I'm the detective looking into this case, which is why I'm asking for your help.
Well, yes, but I need somebody who has power to make decisions. And that's why I was asking for your superior.
Well, I can decide whether or not you're going to go to jail tonight. I can decide that.
It's very interesting to arrest a dog.
I can manage.
Right to the pound with you.
Is that what you say?
Small problem with the cuffs.
I mean, my paws are quite small.
He squeezes his coffee cup. Will you please stop fucking with me? He says. You've got to understand how hard this is. Okay? This is my case. My case.
Fine. Let's see. We'll start from the Mangler incident.
Because obviously our life is all roses and glory.
Yes. It's very easy being a talking dog in this bipedal society.
He's literally just... Okay. So can I just ask you a yes or no question after this yes or no question?
Sure.
Will you help me with this case or not? Because based on all that I've observed, you have powers, and this city needs heroes. I mean, I get that there's a bit of a gap there, but we can work with it.
Yes, we will help you.
Okay.
She really did go to MIT, though.
Yeah.
And to explain the RV, they used some sort of teleportation device to transport the RV through space and time, well, at least for my calculations, to bring it to in front of the bookstore. I had only a few moments to look at the device.
How do you know that?
I have a rather large brain.
Okay, so here's how this is going to go. I'm going to get all of your information, and we're going to come to some terms on how we approach this going forward. I'm going to need to know where you're going to be at all times. So we've got the RV. We've got the RV in custody. We're going to transport it to an impound yard not far from here, with the tech gadgets included. That's all safe. We've done a sweep. I would ask, though, that given all things, that you accompany a couple of my officers to the impound yard. Can you do that just in case, the Mangler's not the only thing that they got going for them? Will you do that?
I just want to reconfirm with you I'm a dog. And you'd like me to accompany your officers.
Yeah, I see that. You need to go outside or something?
Are you going to deputize him? Would he be an official canine?
I would love a sheriff hat.
I think you should have a sheriff badge.
Okay. You know what? He reaches down and he pats you behind the ear and scratches behind the ear. You little motherfucker. I'll get you whatever hat you want if you'll just help. Okay? Okay?
Absolutely.
And his finger, just like like, okay.
I kind of pick my nose with it. I brush it up against him.
Yeah.
I can't reach that spot. Thank you.
I know a good kill shelter that you could wind up at real quick. So it's all this gadgets.
I could run your body through 600 miles an hour winds. So threatening me isn't a very good idea.
Right.
Okay. Us threatening each other is counterproductive. Maybe we
like
should
the ghost
give
said.
Detective a little bit of a story.
Of all of you, the dead guy's the one that makes the most sense. How ironic is that? Maybe I should.
Well, I was trying to talk to you, but you keep threatening us.
He tries to make
if I
eye
had to
contact
guess, I'd
with
say
them.
he's the nicest.
Like I
He's
said,
very
we're
charismatic compared to us.
we're trying to get this RV to the impound yard. And we just want to make sure it's safe. Based on everything that we've seen and based on the eyewitness reports, we're dealing with a force here that my officers are not prepared to deal with.
More important question. Did you catch the guy that was in it, or did he get away?
The one with the broken leg? Yeah, he's in the hospital under surveillance.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Why? Is that your doing?
I mean, because I have his scent. Dog nose. It's easy to track him if he got away.
Oh. Yeah. Nice. Okay. You need a job? We might have an opening in the canine unit. He kind of laughs. Looking at the rest of you. Does anybody snicker? I noticed you guys did, but did your character snicker at all?
I laugh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know this might come as a shock, but the private sector seems to pay better.
What was done to you as a... I won't ask. Yeah. Okay.
In answer to your earlier question, Detective, all the incidents are connected.
His voice is all warbly and weird and scary and ghostly. So what can you tell me about
at the
that?
bullseye, there was an attack. We interceded.
Wait. Okay. Okay, so the girl and the talking dog were shopping at the bullseye.
All four of us.
Correct.
Together?
Well, no.
No, I'd never met them before.
Got it. Okay.
I was with Mordred.
You shop? What sorts of things do you buy? He says. I mean,
paper towels.
He
Once
shops. I follow.
okay.
I mean, you'll need lots of paper towels to clean up that seat when it's done.
Okay. It's, making his little notes about.
Bullseye has double rolls, so they're much more economic.
Oh.
So support your
thrifty.
local business supermarket.
All right. So, if I can count on your assistance, you'll leave straight out the front. 1 block over is a motor pool, and that's where we've got it for now. There's an impound yard on the edge of town. We're going to take it there. It'll be more secure. You can ride along if you wish, unless you have your own transportation.
I'll be fine.
Sadly, that seems to be something we're lacking.
Thinking of Block's girl Ubering everywhere. Okay.
I don't got a license. 15.
So the conversation goes on a little longer, and obviously it's a little more formal, and this just this horrible slog of sort of intellectual chicken between Block's girl and the detective, and of course the detective generally loses at every turn. But ultimately, you wind up walking out of the precinct, free to go, with instructions that you are not to leave town, and you've divulged what contact information?
Burner number.
Your burner phone. Okay. So
I give my Instagram account.
do you? Nice. He checks out your links page.
It's 404 error.
Conduct a seance.
So you, in general, his name is Detective Peters. He gives you his card, those of you who can touch something physical, and he makes it clear that, look, I know we got off on a rough start and all, but I am here to help. And this is my case, but if you've got these powers, the city needs you. Really. I mean, you see it going to shit since the supers have gone. So, I mean,
It was pretty shitty before.
probably shouldn't do $100,000 of damage every time you get in a scrap, and you're thinking back to when you were kids and Power Guy throwing a semi truck through a building to hit one of the bad guys. That was just kind of the way it was. The best insurance and construction shit going on at all times in Freedom City. Before the peace came, anyway. So you step out the front of the precinct, and the sunlight is fucking blinding because you were either in the dark or, inside with tinted windows and whatnot, or in the interrogation room that's kind of closed off. So you're kind of walking down the stairs, and then all of a sudden there's just this cacophony of people blah, 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 just talking and talking. As you're kind of coming out, picture the cameras, and there are a lot of them snapping, and then, of course, just video cameras watching you come down the stairs from the precinct. This guy steps forward and just literally plants himself in front of you with his back to you, kind of blocking your passage, Mordred. And here we are, live on the scene with the heroes of the day. Come on. He reaches out and grasps at Donovan, but his hand goes right through Donovan's shoulder. He's trying to pull him in.
Excuse me. I keep walking.
You keep walking. Block's girl. He kind of reaches over. Come on. Please, can we have a word with you? Mordred, what do you do? There's a whole shitload of people watching.
I've nothing to say at the moment. I have some business to attend to.
Oh, certainly. There's no need to be modest. Your efforts have shut down what appears to be servants, holdouts of Ignatius Vile. What do you have to say about that? And he reaches out with his microphone, sort of misjudging the distance and kind of booping you in the helmet with it,
Just slowly reach up and move him back a bit so he's not
the crowd.
not hitting the helmet.
As you start to move him, you realize that the throng is just pressing in, and so it's him or everyone else. Yeah, as you move, you're like, oh god.
I go ahead of him and start pushing my way through the crowd.
People move without a doubt. Blocks girl, what do you? And you kind of move through. There's like the one person who's like not looking, and you like kind of move through him, and you leave a whole bunch of like ectoplasm on his camera lens. Like, Blocks girl, what do you do?
I'll turn into a swarm of Lego butterflies and just fly over top of them.
Nice. Give me a Byron. Give me a D4 spirit roll for the collective group. And Rocket, what are you doing?
I'm trying to dodge people the best I can. Like, excuse me.
You're just talking.
Excuse me. Yeah, excuse me.
Yes. Okay. What was the roll?
A 9 with a wild die. One on
right.
the regular D6.
Yeah, they don't get it because they're all normal. So okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just looking for the D4 actually.
There you go. There's a D4. Should be coming.
If there's any more of these wild assholes out there ready to fight, I'm kind of looking forward to it. It's
There you
been
go.
the most fun I've had in a long time.
That's what you say in the microphone?
Yep.
He grins like he's so excited to hear that, and your helmet produces that like stormtrooper-esque kind of like in a can voice, you know. Okay, so as the ghost is moving through, and you know, Blocks girl's just like. There's like all kinds of like and pictures snapping and cameras, but this guy's like right there with the microphone. So tell us more about the assailants. How did you get involved?
I don't know. They just were there, picked the fight, were hurting people, and had to be stopped. Now, if you'll excuse me, and then I whistle for the ride to show up. And
yeah, so you're like, if you'll excuse me, and that blends right in with Rocket going, excuse me, and the guy there with his really kind of weird, he's got this weird jacket and his kind of swoopy hair, and his eyes get really big, and he just like like Jim Carrey style, just kind of like darts down. Hi there, little fella. You're one of the heroes, aren't you? A talking dog.
Yes, well, technically, I believe so.
It's like he's almost can't believe it. Well, let's just start here. Are you the leader of the group?
I definitely think I'm in the running.
Do you prefer to be thought of as a dog, or as a person, or a talking dog, or a hero, or a heroic dog?
Heroic dog sounds great.
What did you do to the bad guys?
Well, I run really fast.
So you ran away from them. You were afraid? Were they terrifying?
Oh, scary.
Did you do that with your robot arms? Like,
yeah, I just. Spooky.
Let's get down to brass tacks.
Robot jazz hands.
Robot jazz hands.
And he's, the crowd's kind of like gathering around. It's like this, all these people
all like
sort
crouching
of, yeah, like
I'm
looming.
Like,
oh. So, what do you think about the suspicion that these people are somehow affiliated with Ignatius Vile, and that they may have had something to do with the disappearance of the heroes? And he, again, misjudging. Maybe he doesn't have his glasses on. Boom, in the nose.
As I breathe really heavily into his microphone. I would appreciate if you didn't hit my nose.
I'm so sorry. I'm just crowded. No, seriously, though. Answer the question. Do you fear that these were servants of Ignatius Viles? Are they holdouts? What do you think? Is it a remnant of his force?
Oh, I believe them just to be leftovers. Grasping at straws, hoping to reignite the flame of evil.
Should give yourself 2 Bennies, Byron a Bennie, and Mordred a Bennie, and Spectral Avenger as well, Bennie. So, should Freedom City worry about further attacks?
Well, I mean, the whole city probably not, but I mean, you never know. These people are crazy.
So you're saying that it's likely that there will be further attacks, just not here?
Oh, anything's possible.
And would Freedom City count on you should something go wrong? And if so, is there a signal or a way to get a hold of you?
Well, not really. I don't have fingers on. How could you get a hold of me? I don't really know.
There you have it. The forces of Ignatius Vile thwarted by a fingerless talking dog and a foul-mouthed motorcyclist.
My name's Red Rocket.
I'm a knight of the round table.
He kind of
Show some respect.
you just kind of turn back. He steps in. I'm sorry. Did you just say you are a knight of the round table?
You heard me. And I'm trying to get to my bike now and just move people out of the way.
So there's an update. The city was defended by a talking dog, a deranged biker in armor, a hologram, and a child that seems to have disappeared. More on this developing story here on Channel 4 or whatever. So you make your way out of this crowd, and they're just kind of there. Just like several of them follow you and are taking kind of long pictures. Blocks Girl, how far away do you go?
Just a block down to the motor pool.
Okay. So you kind of fly around the block or whatever. You realize, and your vision in this state is really weird and kind of like, you see from all these points. Yeah, you see from all these points of view. You kind of have to concentrate on one or the other, of these bugs. But there are a couple of these kids that are following the flurry, and one of them is just holding a phone up. And it's just like, yeah, that's right, boy, we live and shit. Look at this, some fucking butterflies. Fucking flies. He's just running along. Click like and subscribe. And he's all out of breath as he watches you start to coalesce down by the fence. What do you do as you reform? This takes a moment, and they're, yo, that's some crazy shit. You see that? Oh. What's going on, girl? It's like, my name's Damien. He's kind of walking up.
Well, Damien, are you a 4.0 student, Damien?
Yo, what?
Because if you want to have any success with your stream and stuff, I suggest you get some books and start reading.
Yo, I don't need to read. I'm 4 stars, man. I got 6,000 followers.
Yeah, so when they monetize that and they send you the document and you can't read it?
I don't need to read, man. I'm going to get a check.
Money.
I'm going to get a check. It's fine. Look, yo, let's take a selfie. Can you get a selfie real quick? Come on.
Yeah, sure. Can I hold your phone?
Why you want to hold my phone?
I'll snap it with you. Here, go ahead. Let me see the phone. I reach my hand out.
Okay, girl. I'll give
throw it.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's how naive you are. You trust anybody. Go get your fucking phone.
And his friend, and his friend's like, oh shit! And he's like, I got that. He comes up to you and he goes, what do you call yourself?
Box girl.
Yeah. Yo, you got an Instagram?
I do.
You give it to him?
Yeah, I'll give it to him. Fuck it.
He pulls it. Yo, there's just pictures of you building some Lego shit.
Well, yeah, that's what I do on my Instagram.
Oh, all right. Man, you own him. You own Damien. That's good. Yeah. All right. Well, he's getting kind of nervous, and like you're kind of standing there and like looking at his phone, and he kind of backs off. Don't mind me. I'm just taking pictures. Like, hey, Heroes is back, man. Heroes is back.
So when he backs up, I'll kind of step forward.
Yo, no, it's okay. It's okay. I didn't follow you or anything. See, no, it's cool. he keeps backing up. No, it's hey, yo, Damien. He just kind of starts running after his friend. I mean, you flung his phone like Block's girl kind of flung his phone, so it's like a block away or something,
I'm not that strong.
What do you? So the rest of you kind of make your way around the building or whatever, and find Block's girl sort of leaning against a fence. There's some kind of commotion. You wouldn't necessarily be aware of what happened. There's a chain link fence there. There's a little bit of a guard gate, right, where there's a cop, kind of a overweight. He looks more like a security guard than a cop. But he is in uniform. He's got a sidearm and all that. Sitting in a little kiosk, sort of garden entrance and egress from the motor pool. You all kind of converge there together. What do you do?
Are you gonna open the gate? Or do we have to stand here all day?
Okay.
Concrete's hot. My paws are getting tired.
Eric, roll the D4 for the lucky security guard. Jesus Christ.
All of us rolled ones or twos for all of these security guards.
I don't. Okay, so I'll say. Let's assume this is his coffee cup. He's like, spills coffee. What? What are you, ventriloquist or something? Come on. You gotta. What? Who? This is a secure area, he says.
Did Detective Peters let you know we were coming here about the impounded van from earlier today?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry. And he's really kind of just starting to really notice. It's more like he was looking at your feet because of the dog, and he looks up and sees this, right, the motley crew that's before him. Right. Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. They should be rolling up here soon. He points over. That yours? There's this fucking. What is it, a Winnebago or whatever, like a really nice Winnebago, sci-fi Winnebago, I think is how I described it before. It's there. It's a little beat up from some of the debris and whatever that was thrown around, but...
That's the one we're about, yeah.
All right. Well, here, let me buzz you through. And you hear, bang, the gate opens. And kind of it's one of those that's sort of powered on a wheel or whatever, just kind of opens very slowly, allowing you to go
I
in.
kind of slide in first, just leading the
Hey, watch your dog. Watch your dog. You can't leave it. You can't have him running around in here.
He'll be fine.
He's a service animal. That's the title of this episode. He's a service animal. That's it. Here, write that down. That's great. He's a service animal. Okay. What do you guys do? So you move in. There's a bunch of cars in here, and there's like a ton of cop cars, as you might imagine. There's a sort of a couple of small forensics, sort of sprinter van forensics units. There's the trailer that they bring out to more severe scenes. There's, they don't have the tank in here or whatever, but then there's the Winnebago, which has just been kind of conveniently pulled up here. What do you do?
Check it out.
How so? So you go up to it. It's there. It's not on or anything.
Well, didn't the Mangler just rip off the door
the side of the door is blasted off because that's how villains do. Probably got a good insurance policy.
Just step inside and look around.
I think we should be careful. The thing arrived without any fanfare. It could leave without any fanfare just as quickly.
Yes, it has some sort of teleportation device in the back. I only had a moment to look at it before.
So you step in, Mordred. It doesn't really react under your weight like it did the Manglers. You notice that there's that big generator thing that's kind of built into the back, like where the bedroom would be, basically. There's this. You have no earthly idea what the hell this thing is. Like,
can you tell if it would be capable of teleporting again, or if it's powered or not, or on or off?
I mean, I would guess it's connected some sort of way to the power of the car. So I would guess if it's off, it would be off, but it's possible it would be on if it has some sort of secondary power source.
Can you make sure it doesn't disappear?
I had no guarantee, but I'll try.
Okay, I'll get out of the van.
Like, we really can't guarantee that it's not going to go anywhere. Like, no.
Give me a repair roll, Rocket.
A repair?
Yeah. That's kind of used for, like, general technology stuff.
I don't have that.
You could use science, which you would
Okay.
have. Yeah.
Science. I have a really good science.
What about electronics?
You could use that as well, actually. Ooh, nice. Okay. So, with that, yeah, I don't. You're right about it. The new view highlighting all the numbers purple. That's off-putting. It's like Prince designed this year.
Yeah, yeah. I was like, I can't really read the fucking numbers.
Yeah.
Oh, you have dark mode on or something?
I tried it for a little bit. I was like, everything else looks really good. I just can't read the fucking numbers.
Yeah, I had to turn it off too.
Yeah. I do like it. It does. It's not. Yeah, it's fine in the stream. So that whatever. I guess it was whatever. What matters. But so first and foremost, you notice that yes, this thing seems to be powered internally, despite the fact that there's no generator running or anything like that in this vehicle. It is active and live. You're not entirely certain. There's not like a keyboard interface or something like that to it, so you're not entirely certain how it's controlled. Maybe by some remote thing, like a nice app on a phone, teleporter app or something. There's some sort of external interface that connects to this thing that probably tells it where to go and when to come on. But yeah, as far as you can tell, it is capable of working at this point. You'd have to test it.
Exactly. Well, it is capable of turning on. It has some sort of internal power device keeping it running. It needs some sort of electronic interface to talk to it in a sense. And it will work.
All right.
Oh, like my abilities are kind of like science and electronics. Can I kind of picture myself as having like a tablet that I can like use to like plug into like electronic devices to run diagnostics and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Is there any kind of port or anything like that that could be plugged in to run some sort of?
Give me your electronics check. Let's start with an electronics check. That'll help you sort out what's going on.
I'll spend a Bennie reroll.
Okay.
And you do horrible.
Yeah. So
Good thing I have 6 of them.
You start up your machine. You do find that there are a handful of connections here, wireless connections available suddenly. And one of them is obviously, it's like Freedom City Police Motor Pool wireless connection unsecured kind of thing. It's like, whatever. But then there's this, it's an odd string of letters and numbers, and it's running over with a slightly different security protocol. That jumps out at you, but as far as being able to sort out how to connect to it and like how to do all that, you're close, but you're going to need to take some time. That's going to introduce the concept of our successes here. The what's the word for it? Longer running tests. I'm looking it up. Sorry. So basically, you will have to make some rolls, and I want to get this right because it's kind of a neat concept. So do keep talking, and I'll come back to you, Blux Girl. What?
Yeah.
Rocket, what are you doing beyond your assessment that the power's on?
Really trying to. I'll look for anything else in the RV that could somehow connect to it.
Okay.
Like if they had a tablet or something, or some sort of device connected to the RV that they would use in the driver's seat to move it or whatnot.
Okay. Give me a notice check. That's going to be -1, I think. Ooh, nice. So that was with the -1 or with that?
7.
Okay, 7.
No, that was about 7.
So being as low to the ground as you are and sniffing and snurting around, you notice there's a little spot where the blood from the bad guy that was in here, the thug, where it's kind of like spattered on the floor of the RV, which is like that rubberized, flooring, and it's kind of running into just this like hairline crack. So you realize that there is in fact a little compartment here it seems, underneath the floor.
Is the floor like carpeted?
No, it's got that rubberized stuff. It's like
Okay.
like rubbery, like the all-weather stuff that you put in SUVs and stuff.
Mordred, can you cut through this or pick it up?
Sure.
There's some sort of hole down here.
Help him out.
Okay. So you pull this basically kind of, pull that back, and there's clearly like this really thick braided cable that kind of runs toward the back and comes in here to this folding contraption that basically folds down into the floor. And it provides a connection point. Blocks Girl, that I was going to have you do like a rollover time, but this completely negates that. So you're just kind of looking, and you look, and you're like, oh shit! Like, your electronics capabilities, you're on it. You could figure this out with an appropriate roll.
Got it. Would that be electronics or science?
So there's two. So there's going to be science. The science is going to get you to the theory of how this thing works, but I'm going to need electronics to actually be able to interface with it. So I'll take the science second. So the first one, a successful electronics roll, will allow you to... Oop. You're having a hard time. You want to spend another Bennie?
Yep. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're frustrated with it, and what's funny is it's not even the actual act of hacking it. It's you had the cable upside down, and you're like, you ever done that with a USB? Where like
It's a USB.
like
Turn it upside
an
down.
old school USB. No matter how many times you turn it around, like when you're having one of those days, it doesn't seem to fit. Anyway, you finally are like, "Pachunk."
I'm gonna kind of complain loudly. This is why we use USB-C.
Yeah, but it's USB-E now, and it's just like, yeah, exactly. So you plug in, and I'm guessing you have like a burner laptop type thing, something that you're not super worried about. And so your electronics roll gets you in to a point where you have basically a terminal access. And it's going to take a little while for her to sort of she's pecking away at the terminal, doing some stuff. There's, green text flying past as she does so. What are the rest of you doing meanwhile?
Just waiting. This is all beyond my ability.
Okay. Are you still on board? Or are
Yeah.
you out? Okay.
Yeah, once everyone was on board, if it teleported away, I may as well go with them.
Yeah. Donovan, what about you?
Yeah, I might as well watch, even though this is not really my kind of thing.
Yeah, not at all. Yeah.
I have a little bit of science knowledge.
Yeah, you're a Windows guy. We know. Just kidding. Rocket, what are you doing? So you're kind of watching her hack, and you're like, okay, this is progress. Give me a notice check with your super fine hearing at +1 to your benefit. Jesus.
So whatever that is, +1.
Yeah,
So
you hear all the things. So
Yeah,
the
I
first
get a
thing that's crazy
+2 from here.
is you can hear the activity on this drive, even though it's a solid state drive and they don't make a whole lot of noise. You can hear this like micro little kind of electronic currents, and it's like, oh yeah, it's like a drum beat of progress. The other thing that you hear that's not so subtle is this kind of like,
Well, either we should get off now or Grace being teleported because it's booting. I believe so. That's a guess.
I can't stop in the middle of a hack.
I didn't tell you to stop. I said we either embrace getting teleported or we get off the RV right now and lose all our clues.
Well, I mean, our point is to find out who did this, right? So if we send this somewhere, I'm guessing back to where it came from is going to lead us to the person that sent it.
I'll sign. Yeah.
Yep.
So Blocks Girl, just as you say that, you hear, like you literally in your left ear, this tiny voice that says, "You don't want to meet the person that said it." Like in your, like, yeah. How do you react to that? Give me a spirit roll to determine how you react to that. Failure is, freak out time. Nope, you're okay. So you hold it together, but how do you react to
that? Indignantly.
Like how so? For all you know, it could have been one of your friends. It could have been one of your friends.
I would get off the van, and this could easily just teleport into space or the inside of a volcano or somewhere else. It'd be very inconvenient.
Sounds like whoever sent this is a bitch.
And at that moment, you say a bitch, and you're like, click, and it's like, ding, ding, and you're in. The response comes, that's not very nice. You're in big trouble. You're not going to have a lot of chances. You should probably... You suddenly feel this. You suddenly feel... Yeah, exactly. You guys do not hear this. And she's just like, whoever sent this is a bitch. Ooh, for no reason.
I'm gonna type. What are you gonna do? Ground me?
You feel this horrific picture. Everybody has cleaned their ear out with a Q-tip or something like it, and gone too far. Picture, but in that millisecond, you're like, ah, shit, like on the commercial. Picture if someone
really good.
Picture if you were just like, you feel that.
Ow.
The pain is excruciating. It interrupts what you're doing. You're in, and you have access now, so that it's going to take you the science roll. You need some time now to figure out exactly how to control it, but you can do that. But there's something in your fucking ear. And it is like digging, and you hear like, wait, here.
It was working better the other way.
It's on your eardrum. Block's girl is just like flipping out, holding her ear, like kind of rolling around. What are the rest of you guys doing?
What on earth are you doing?
Reach in to get them out of the van.
What is that? How does that work? You're a dude. You just like reach in with like a big long arm. You run in and grab one of them, like drag them out.
Like whoever is nearest to me, just around the collar and pull them away.
You grab. You grab Rocket.
And just set them on the ground outside.
Was that necessary?
What the hell's going on? Block's
I don't know. I was trying to figure that out, and you just ripped me out of the goddamn RV.
I pull her away from the machine.
So you do. You pull. She's like, ah! And suddenly the pain stops. Mordred's pulling you back, and that you hear this kind of. At this point, the noise is getting a little louder, but it's still not like, ear splitting loud. The pain stops, and you hear, "Are we gonna be friends? Because I can make it worse. I can make it much worse. Promise." What do you say?
So, I'm gonna put in my iPods.
AirPods.
My AirPods.
Yeah. It's not even AirPods. It's like, it's like Ethereum pods or something. But okay.
And I'm gonna put on some Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna reach my hand in my pockets of my leather jacket and pull out my brass knuckles and just start beating the shit out of this electronic device.
What electronic device?
Whatever this thing is that it's in the back of the car.
Okay, cool.
What on earth are you doing?
So you see her. She's like, you've pulled her out, and just in typical fashion, she disengages and puts her earphones on like she always does, and reaches down. And you can hear, how you can hear that like sort of filtered sound, like
secondhand music,
all that kind of stuff. Then she kind of reaches in and grabs her, and you're going to charge back onto the RV and just beat the shit out of the interface, out of your laptop, because your laptop is still in there too. It's plugged in.
Right, I need my laptop.
Okay, so you're going to go snatch your laptop. All right, so you kind of go running in. Thinking of this as initiative, so she kind of puts her earphones in, storms in the RV. Donovan, Mordred, what are you guys doing? Red Rocket, all you guys. Start with Mordred.
Stunned, can't believe, and don't understand what's happening.
Okay.
He doesn't understand indignant teenagers.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 1,400 years behind me.
And I'm picturing, I'm picturing the song that you've chosen is one of Rage's that starts kind of quiet, and then kicks in. You get your first step onto the RV and it kicks in, and it's like some kind of weird fucking popcorn going off in that ear. It's just like, and you go in there, Donovan, what are you doing? You're stepping on, and you see her. She passes you.
More or less following Mordred because I'm incorporeal. I can't really do anything.
Okay, you're
I
just
can't
sort of
grab her or.
yeah. You're sort of watching. Rocket, what are you doing?
I'm just kind of standing there in confusion.
Okay, so
Just kind of letting her make her dumb decisions. She'll eventually learn.
well, she walks past. Okay, so you go. You see your laptop there, and you see basically the scroll of text that happens when you successfully authenticate. Right. So there's like a key exchange and some other stuff, and you've got like access to this device. But as you're reaching for your laptop, literally, it's like there's something bouncing the fuck around in your ear. What do? You're gonna punch that thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a fighting roll. Make sure you punch the right stuff, something vital. Ooh, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. What's your intent when you're punching it? Are you trying to what?
Make it so it's not usable.
Okay. So you just start, you know, kind of hit it, and it sort of bends the wire that's plugged in. The second one kind of shatters the connection and actually bends the pins inside. You just kind of, and then suddenly your left ear, the sound gets weird. The stereo sound gets strange, and you realize that your left ear, where all this action's going, your fucking ear pod is shot out, and it's like tick, 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 across the floor. Thanks, sweetheart. Appreciate it. And you hear this kind of like.
Okay.
What are you doing?
It's like she's in there, and then she's like, huh?
We didn't come here to destroy the evidence.
Give me a notice check, real quick. Who was at the door?
She's gone crazy.
I think that was Red
I
Rocket.
would be.
Yeah, give me a notice check, please.
15.
Two things. That's really good, by the way. First, Block Scroll, give yourself a Benny, because that was awesome. But you notice the AirPod, the whatever the equivalent of it is. I don't know if she's an Android girl or what, but literally her AirPod is just like bing and like shoots out of her ear, like 6 feet away. And then there's this like sudden, like unrelated probably, because you're a dog, it happens, but there's suddenly just like some shit in your fur, and you're like, oh god, I got fleas again. Like that's how
I would use my arm to use my arm to pinch it,
okay,
trying to get the flea.
That's how good of a notice roll is. You realize this. So how does this play out? So Block Scroll, you're like, oh shit, my AirPod, and there's no more noise in your ear, nothing.
Can I make a smarts roll to see like what I might think?
Sure. Okay.
I'll use a Ben.
Wild Dog gives you 4.
I know, but I'd like to.
You wanted more. You wanted more. Well,
I mean, I still have 5 bennies, even after I've spent 3.
I have 6.
Yeah, so I'm like, I think there's a miniature guy in here fucking somewhere.
She
like,
says this out loud.
I think
She say it out loud?
in my fucking ear.
All right. The rest of you are going to give me smarts checks. Failure means no matter what you as a player want, you don't believe her. Success is, success with a raise is you believe her. Regular success is just it's plausible. I love this. You're all just like, oh, of course there's a miniature person around here.
Yeah, given the past couple of days, probably not a lot of reason to be encouraged here.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So Rocket, you're there on the door. You're there on the door. The others are kind of outside of the Winnebago looking in, right? Well, aren't you clever? You hear Rocket in your right ear, and you're like, oh, what the fuck? You're the, dog flippy flop thing. Oh, let's see what's down in here. Okay. And it gets really loud. It's like, oh, yeah. How do you like that? Check this out. And then picture someone taking a sewing needle and just going into your. What do you think about that, puppy dog?
I immediately plant my arms on the ground and shake at Mach fucking 5 as fast as I possibly can. I just plant my hands on the ground.
You ever been at a hypersonic rock tumbler before?
Thorg says, could Ant-Man get any creepier? Yep. Yes, he can. Okay. So, okay. Give shit. What are we gonna do there? We're gonna do a fighting check, I think, and his parry will be graceful recovery, I think. Ooh. Okay. So you plant your robot arms, and you just do this crazy move, and you guys don't know what the fuck he's doing, other than that it's kind of connected. He starts shaking his head, and you're in a lot of pain. You're very dizzy.
Oh yeah.
Your equilibrium is thrown off way more than it would from spinning. And you hear this sort of like, and there's like something tugging at maybe 1 or 2 hairs in your ear for a second. Like it and then it goes like the pressure's gone. And you kind of hear like this,
well, there is a tiny man here, and he was poking my eardrum, and he's gone now.
Give me a notice check. Let me see, not Rocket. I'm going to give it to Mordred. Okay. And Blocks, because Blocks is right there. Notice checks at -4. So nigh impossible.
Wild die?
Yeah. So Mordred, I picture why is it that you see the little fella? Do you have like some electronics in your armor and it's like tracks him?
Yeah.
I imagine he splats.
The magical heads-up display.
I imagine he splats up against him like a fly.
So, yeah. So you see that, and Blocks. The reason that you know is because he lands on your fucking face. He's like, ah, and it's like right. You see him in your eye. He's this little tiny, fucking. He's dressed in red, like bright red.
Can you get him, Donovan? He's right on their face.
He kind of your heads up display's having a hard time. It target selects and then it suddenly goes to Blocks girl because it's like, oh shit, it's losing tracking. So he was there, but let me see where he goes. Blocks, what do? He lands on your face. I'll give you a shot to act there.
Give me 1 second. I'm trying to look this under real quick.
Ooh.
So I can.
What? Why are you attacking us?
There's like this chaos, and you're over there like, hey, why? Hey, why?
Short man syndrome.
Time pauses for a moment.
So I am going to turn into a miniature Lego praying mantis.
Okay. Cool.
I was about you stand up.
So that's your action. So he's on your face, and you're gonna start like, which is really weird. Normally you get bigger or you disperse. So
yeah, you're right.
And this isn't something you've ever done often, so it hurts like all hell as you're like. So that'll be your action for the round. You'll come back next round. Though as you're shrinking, he's getting bigger because it's relative to you, right?
Right.
And so he's kind of there, and he's looking, and he's like, what the fuck? And then he drops as you're shrinking. Okay. Tyler, what is Red Rocket doing?
I'm going to come in and try to pick him up.
Pick who up?
Like the little mini guy.
He's like just a little smaller than the size of a pea. He's very small. He's not like this. He's like little guy. So you go and you're gonna that's gonna be like, let's give you a shot at it, but it's gonna be like a -6 to try to like to and if you fail, I have a surprise for you.
Oh, then I'm definitely doing it.
Yeah, of course you are.
And what do you want?
This is going to be fighting because you're trying to. Yeah,
I got a 10.
but here's the problem: you're against his parry. And you've got some size restrictions. So you come in and blocks, you're starting to shrink, and Red Rocket's just like squonk and like grabs your fucking nose. Just like trying to grab him. And as you're shrinking, with your nose this and your upper lip, this little fucker, you see him, but you can't really react. He's running up Rocket's robot arm. So that's how that plays out. Donovan, what do you do?
Can I even tell what's going on?
No.
'Cause
Give me a
them
note.
flipping out about tiny people.
Give me yes. You hear yes. Like if you step back, what's said, you can't see any of this because you're outside the thing. So you just see them like Red Rocket goes boop, 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 and squeezes Block's nose for whatever reason. You don't know.
There's a little microscopic man in here, and he's being an asshole.
So what do you do in the moment, like as all this is going on? So I'm thinking this is happening kind of right when a Rocket is squeezing Block's face and Blocks is transforming and stuff.
I'm just trying to assess the situation because I don't have any shrinking powers or any ability to see tiny people.
That's true. That's so true. Okay, Mordred. Donovan is there. He just kind of looks at you, kind of like the burnt guy looks at the Beetlejuice and Beetlejuice, right? Just kind of like, oh. What do you do?
I just have to say that Thor said his name should be Flea Dick.
Is there like a fire extinguisher in the back of the van or anything?
Of course there is.
I'll grab that, and if just wait till I know where he is, so I can just blast him with that if he needs to get him off of somebody.
So you kind of run over. So I'm thinking your move is essentially you kind of move over and give me a dexterity check. And if you pass your dexterity check, I'll let you come back with it, because you kind of glance and it's like you see it, you go for it, you grab it, but you gotta pull the fucking apparatus, and there's like the plastic zip tie there to protect you from doing what you got. Okay, so you get all that done. So next round you'll be able to blast, but you kind of like rifling around, you kind of pull it out. That comes back around to Rocket, I think. No, Blocks. Blocks, you finished your little mantis. How little is little? Like a D&D mini little?
Yeah, like half the size of a normal like praying mantis.
Okay.
Well, that guy's screwed.
Yeah. So you are amazed right now. You're just like, whoa, so fucking weird, because like you see this massive structure in front of you, massive thing, and you're like, what the fuck is that? It's like this big wall, and it's got this cross-hatched pattern in it. And then you realize it's a shoe. It's like the little shoe that Rocket wears, his little running shoes. But it's like this. It's so big. So just think about the scale, and you're kind of looking around. Give me a notice check. I think it's -2 to see if you can find him in the moment.
I'll spend another one of my 4 bennies I have left.
Okay.
There we go.
You're looking. Yeah. Oh shit. And you feel like, oh no. And he's running full speed, and he's pretty quick up Rocket's arm, and he's like running up toward his face. And you're down on the ground.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm going to use my ensnare ability, something I haven't used before.
Okay.
So it allows me to restrain a target with a binding material, like energy ropes or vines. So in this case, it's extremely tough Legos that are like the strength of steel, basically. I took very strong for it. So I'm going to attempt to basically restrain him.
And that's a fighting roll, I'm guessing?
Oh, crap. Hold on. Let's see here. What is that? Fighting roll against adjacent foe.
Yes.
If the attack successful.
Okay.
Bound.
Yeah. So give me that fighting roll.
Wild die. But might be against his parry, so.
Yeah. So yeah, no way. You can spend a Benny if you want, and try it.
So would I suffer the same negative since I'm small, like other people are, to fight against him?
I'm gonna say no. I don't think so.
I mean,
think you're
I
much on the same
could
scale.
picture that I would still suffer negatives, but probably
Yeah,
not as
well-
extreme as if I was large.
It's situational, so like when they're moving around, you might suffer some penalties from them stomping around next to you or whatever, maybe stepping on you or something. But yeah, you're okay for right now.
Okay.
Flea Dick, I love it. Or Dick
Yes.
Flea. It's about to be Dick Flea.
All right, yeah. So 5 with the fighting with the wild. It's not going to cut it.
Yeah. So did you want to spend another Benny?
Oh, sure. Why not?
Yeah,
I
you
got
can. It's going to be a tough roll.
3 left. Yeah,
No.
it's not gonna
Yeah,
do it.
so you fire off this ensnare thing, and he literally, it's like he sees it coming, he's running, he kind of glances over and jumps from Red Rocket's arm right onto the end of Red Rocket's nose. Red Rocket, you see this, like literally, it's a good transition. So Blocks fires these things, it hits your arm, and like you don't even know exactly at the moment what's going on with the whole mantis and whatever. She just got real small. This thing jumps and lands like a freaking parkour ninja, and he's looking into your face. This is your first moment to notice this little guy. He's got this really long, obnoxious, curly mustache,
Like it.
right? And this sort of long goatee, like sort of, and this really weird-looking little helmet, sort of like I don't know, it's just like he's got a condom stretched over his head or something. It's like suit, like really tight. Kind of thing. You're not sure what that's about. But he's got this apparatus on his back. You're not sure what the deal is there. Anyway, so he kind of lands on your nose, and he goes, and when it's his turn to act, I'll tell you what he does. What do you do when he lands on the end of your nose?
You have approximately 0.1 seconds to stop being an asshole, or I'm going to run you at Mach fucking 12. Like,
You see, he kind of ponders that. Is that right? Well, okay. Do you act against him in any way right now?
no.
Okay. So he then basically steps back. You feel like his little hands grip the end of your nose, and he literally like swings into your fucking nostril with his feet. In we go, you hear him say. And you're just like, oh, and he's all up in there. So how do you react to that?
I just take off as fast as I can.
Okay. What do you just Mordred, give me some kind of roll. You have dodge. You have athletics.
Generic one.
Let's use athletics.
Can he pick?
Yeah, exactly. Give me a riding roll. Athletics will work.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to say that, and remember that I've said this because that was a good enough roll, and I'm going to represent that raise with this. Because superheroes do this shit, you're so tired of him just fucking that you've built in a detector. You've woven in a detector into your heads-up display so you can detect the energy, the magical energy disruption by his fucking speed. You jump off to the side. Where do you go, Rocket? You're just like...
Is the gate still closed? Is the gate closed?
Yeah, see, that's the problem, is you're moving so fast now, and you're coming at this chain link fence at that speed, which if you've not ever run through an apple slicer before, it's going to be kind of like that. So how do you get past that? Tell me.
So I'm gonna...
This is called an oversight.
Yeah. I'm just going to start going in circles around the parking lot.
Okay, so I'm going to need athletics check to control yourself. Failure is going to be a bad thing for you.
Sausages.
Wild time.
Okay.
Wild time.
So you literally are just running, and you kind of you turn, and just the force of you turning, the chain link just rumples as you're just in circles. Okay, so let's give me a D8 roll, please. We're gonna roll vigor.
And I'm gonna guess that security guard probably spills his coffee again, kind of like
yes, I agree.
In Top Gun when Maverick like buzzes the tower. You know?
Yes, you're exactly right. That's perfect, Byron. Okay, so so you're running. You don't hear anything, but you feel suddenly this like okay, picture this. Someone has a knife, like a really sharp knife, about the size of maybe a little smaller than, like about half the size of a piece of rice, right? And he's holding on by way of having stabbed into your nose. And he's just basically like in there, like, you know, the camera is like, you see dog nostril, like a big tunnel, and he's just like, but he's hanging on. And he's not dizzy at all either. So how long do you do that for?
A while.
Okay, fine. So
I'm just gonna wear a fucking circle into the ground.
Okay, so you've got the zoomies. What are the rest? So what are the rest of you guys doing?
I don't like. The dog has just gone insane.
Yeah, we're running around in circles. So blocks.
I don't know where Blocks Girl is. I don't know if I can see the little mantis.
Yeah, give me a.
Where's the tiny man?
Yeah, I kind of think that you would have seen like a little shower of blocks kind of fall or some kind of thing. So it's not, you know, so you knew she did something. So you're looking around. Give me a notice check. No penalty. Yeah.
5.
You're like, is that you see, what color is your praying mantis? Is it pink as always? Huh? Orange praying mantis is there.
Well, that's probably her. Where's the little man?
You hear, "Where's the little man?"
Did he get rocket? Or is that just normal?
So I can't actually talk because I did spend the points for that while I stay in my animal form. So I will actually tell him, he went out there.
Yes, you did. This is so fucked up. I love it. Oh man. Okay. He went out there, says she. What do you do?
So hop out of the van. Can't really interfere with a supersonic dog.
Yeah. I'm gonna assume, for a run like this, until you've really kind of done that frequently enough that I can rationalize it being sensible, I'm going to give you 3 rounds that you can just run like that. Just no problem, and you start picking up fatigue. You just get tired.
3 rounds.
You need some water. You want a treat, something. I don't know. Okay, so she.
I'm just gonna cook fucking cement for 3 rounds.
And actually, I'm thinking that there's this smell, and it's not the cement, but it's the sole of your.
It's my soul, my little dog booties.
You wear I'm thinking you wear baby Nikes or something, like little baby running shoes. Blocks, what are you doing all this time? And the rest of you as well. Is just running.
So I'm determining now that I think my size as a praying mantis is no longer helpful. So I'm still on the RV. So I'm going to change shapes again into the pink hippo.
Okay. Oh shit.
It basically just shoulder block the electronic device to completely destroy it.
Okay. Are you gonna do something about your laptop first? That'll take a little extra time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, shit. I just kind of kick it with my big ass paw.
Okay. I'm gonna say you have the complete care warranty, so it's fine. They'll come fix it. They'll come to your house and fix it.
I have Apple Care.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you kick your MacBook 2032 edition, which is it weighs less than an ounce or something. I don't know what it is. But yeah, you kick that out of the way at mid transformation and just smash the interface. The thing is, you don't do much to the innards. You dent it all in. You're pretty sure. The thing in the back now is like, and you're not sure if it's what you've done or if something there is really revving up. Hard to tell. Let's assume that you stop, Rocket. You're just like, okay. He's probably dead by now, kind of thing. What do you do when you come out of this? You see the RV shaking. Like,
well, I'm just gonna kind of panting walk to the car like.
So you feel the cement of the motor pool under your feet, like you feel it against your pads, and you're like, ah, shit! I completely ruined 4 shoes. Give me a notice check. Okay.
I'm gonna spend a Bennie since I got like.
You got it. You got it. You're okay. And you know, without a penalty, 4 is success. So both of those things would have done it. So you keep your Bennie, unless you just really want to. The risk there.
I just wanted the higher number.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
You can always gamble, but we'll take the last one. So if you re-roll a success and fail, like, I don't know, like.
Oh yeah, I'm totally cool with that.
But yeah, so he's in your fucking nostrils still. You hear this like, actually, I'm sorry, your dog hearing's pretty good. So picture somebody talking out of a nostril, like out of a tube, right? Like projected. You hear, do I need to go all the way back to your brain, puppy dog?
I mean, I've been trying to talk to you, but you just keep being an asshole.
Oh, we don't need to talk. My work's done here. You can't
The
have
wee
it.
man got you.
We can't carry it away when we're this small, but we sure can make sure that you can't use it either. I would leave soon if I were you. Real soon.
Okay. I'm going to walk up to the security guard and grab his little lunch and rip open a packet of salt and snort it.
Okay, so hang on. So you're running over the security guard.
Pepper.
You start running over the security guard. He's like, yep. You should tell your friends too. And literally, I mean, it's like, I don't know, like call it 10 yards or something away. So there's a bit of a walk. The security guard you see through in the kiosk, he's there. He's got a Tide stick, right? And he's just like, while he's watching out the fucking, like watching you doing whatever. And then you kind of come just walking up to the side. I'm going to give him a notice check. And I'm going to assume that he's not, I'm going to say... Let's see. Yeah, no. DM Bennie. He's gonna get a DM Bennie, or whatever. Oh no. Okay. He's monologuing, man. He's in it. He's just like, I mean it. I don't really mean you any harm. Okay. You should just tell your buddies, get the fuck out of there. If you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Get out of my nose.
I mean, yeah, really. Look, serious.
Do you have a mask on?
What? Do the words
You're really
over?
gonna enjoy this.
Okay, so picture the security guard just there, and he's been watching you like, what the fuck? And then you come, and you're like, zzz, zzz, and your friends probably are like, what the fuck is wrong with him? And you give me agility, please, because this is like picking up a tiny little pepper packet, like. With these big robot arms. So you're just like, duh, you fail. You're kind of like grabbing it.
I'm spending a penny. I'm just asking it.
Okay, it does. I agree.
Okay,
you get it. The wild days got you. So you pick it up, and he's still talking. And he's like, does the word, he's blah, blah, blah. And then as you're grabbing it, you tear it off. And you tear most of it off. And you've got enough, though. And he's like, does the word over, and then you're like, and so picture a little man in a nostril for a second, and just this blast, like sandblasted with pepper. Yeah, so he's actually just, I'm thinking he's going to need a vigor check.
I was like, Oh,
So yeah, he's just completely shaken by this action. You don't know that, obviously. He's in your nose. He's moving around all of a sudden, and there's like you hear, because again, your dog
I
hearing.
can feel him moving.
Oh yeah, he's coming out of your nose.
Okay. I was gonna say I just fucking vigorously shake my head like it.
Oh yeah. Okay, so you launch his ass, just like, and all right. So let's have a athletics check. Then. This is a strong suit of his, though. Huh? Yeah. So you're like, hey! And he's like, you don't know what happens to him, but you.
I don't care at this point. He's out of my fucking nose.
You can now hear guys who are close to the motorhome. It's getting louder. What do you do?
I'm just gonna run through the back of it.
There.
I'm just gonna run through the back of it. I'm a 2-ton hippo, dude. I'll just fucking go right through the goddamn.
So you just throw a hippo tantrum inside of the Winnebago.
Hippo tantrum. Absolutely.
Okay. Give me a let's take this as a fighting roll. You're intending to do damage to the device is the plan, right?
Yeah, I'm just running through the back of the van.
Okay. So you back up and you just sort of like what is the damage that a hippo does, Byron, with like I don't know. I don't think that's in the monster manual.
It is actually.
Is it?
It does the same. Yeah, it does the same as a rhinoceros.
Okay. Of course it does. Slightly.
How am I gonna get this asshole out of my nose? Prepackaged pepper.
Nobody ever uses the pepper in their lunch. Let's see here. Sorry, for some reason I didn't actually pull the thing out today. Let's see here.
Thorg says, she thick, she blocky, she rampaging.
Baby got back.
Baby, yeah. Baby coming out the back.
Let's see here. It'd be D12 plus 3.
Ooh, okay. Give me that.
Do I got a D12 on any of my stuff?
You can roll one.
Yeah, just
on the left.
Let's see. Yeah.
Just die roll it.
Yeah, this computer's just slow.
boop.
All right. And it's going to be plus 3 to the roll.
Okay, so
7.
You take a roll back, and so this thing isn't, like I said, it's kind of, the bed has been removed, and it's it's basically installed there, and there's like some L brackets bolting it to the floor kind of thing, and you just run and just like slam into this thing, and you take 2 L brackets. You're gonna need 3 total attacks if you mean to push this out the back of the thing.
Okay.
So you kind of get back, you run, you guys see the RV rock backwards, right? And this, it kind of like is modulating.
Probably about wheelies up too, with 2 tons on the backside.
Oh yeah, yes, exactly. It's kind of like, so that'll be one. Mordred, what do you do?
I'm caught between following Rocket because I thought he had the wee man in him or on him, and now the van's going nuts with the hippo in it.
Yeah, and actually, as you look to Rocket is having, now that he's run around in circles like a weirdo for a long time, he's sneezing like a fucking fiend. He's just like dog sneezes over and over and over again. So what do? You're just like looking back and forth, like what the hell?
What did the little man get you?
I started some.
You're fine. All right, I'll go back to the van.
Okay. You come back to the van just in time to see this big Lego ass backing back up to the door, like it's from. And Byron, give me your next fighting check, please. With a raise, I'm going to negate the next roll.
Okay. So you want a fighting check or you want a damage roll?
Fighting check for the placement of your blow, and then damage. I'm trying to see how much you fuck up the device in the process.
Got it. This thing does not want to stay open today. Right, fighting. Fighting check.
Ooh, not
I
so
don't know.
good.
I don't even know what it is.
It's
I
a
can't
4.
see it.
It's a 4. It's just good enough.
Peanut butter Benny time.
Peanut butter, Bennie.
That's better.
Oh, the raise. Okay, so you back up. So Mordred, you come up, and I sort of picture this as just big, and it's a little more detailed than a Lego hippo should be. Like the cheeks are there and all that, like the big hippo ass, and then just she stampedes, and you literally see the back of the RV pushed out by the device, and it's just like. Give me a damage roll, please. Let's see if if the device is completely.
Aw.
What is that?
I'll spend. I'm down to 1 Benny. I'll spend my last Benny to reroll.
All right. So sparks and whatever noises as you just like push this thing out. Rocket, you see the security guy at this point. He's there and he's still got his tide pin in his hand, but he's just like watching the thing. And when the hippo comes running out of the back, he literally just runs out of the kiosk and down the road. Like, no, like an 80s cop, like an 80s movie cop. Terrified. Keystone Cop kind of thing. So, what do? So you push this thing out. It smashes on the ground. Stops making noise. There's some sparks. You notice that it seems that it's whatever. All these L brackets are broken. And then something about the way it's landed might have messed up the generator because the power is clearly just like.
So all this changing shape and all that stuff is probably taking a toll. I'm kind of feeling really tired, so I'm probably just gonna like plop my rear end down, like just
and like yeah, you just like
It's
flop
been a long day.
Yeah, you flop your rear end. Yeah, it has. You haven't slept in like the last 24 hours, so you flop your ass down. I picture you like, man, I need to get on Instagram and see if anybody liked that last post, kind of thing. Like, Okay, so coming back to Donovan. So Donovan, you're watching this. What are you doing?
I just shake my head.
Like literally, just thinking about this ghostly. Like, what the fuck? Am I in hell? Am I in hell? Back to Rocket. So Rocket sneezing fit is over. Although you got a little runny. It's irritated. Not meant to snort pepper. You see the guard guy or the cop run. What do you do in the meantime?
So he's the little guy had said he wasn't strong enough to take Ed out, but what else did he say? I'm sorry, I don't quite remember. Tyler does.
He said something. The last thing he said that you remember was, seriously, you need to tell your friends to get out of there. Have you ever heard of an over? And then you're like, and then he's like, ah. So that was it. There's lots of things that you could overlord, overhead. Contextually, give me a smarts roll, real quick. No. Achoo! A couple more sneezes. You can spend a Benny if you want. It might be
It's hard to
important.
concentrate while you're sneezing.
I've still got 4 more, so this will take me to 3. I'll do it. Oh my goodness.
Oh yikes! Okay, I'm gonna just for kicks, I'm gonna give you a science check. So you're like, what did he say? And then you start thinking the science side of things, and you're like, oh, of course. If that overloads, it would tear a hole in space-time, and we'd all be sucked through it. And you're like, oh right, and that specific, that's what that sound was.
I just kind of stand there for a second thinking about that, and I'm like, oh.
So you come skittering up to them. Do you tell them this? What do you say?
Yeah. He's trying to overload it, so stopping it from powering on is probably good. You did a great job. Watch.
Whoa, where is the little shitbag?
I don't know. I snorted a pack of pepper and threw him out.
Give me a notice check.
Oh my god.
Fastest finger gets the group. So whoever the first one, okay, it was Red Rocket. with a solid success. So all of you at the same time, it's like you're like, where is the little shit bag? And then it's like this kind of looking around, and like cinematically, you all sort of look over and up, standing on top of the guard kiosk at regular size is what I described earlier. This guy that looks like he's got like this metal condom on his head with the real curly mustache. And in the center of his chest, he has a picture of a little tiny weird insect. And you don't know. Well, actually, who wants to make a science check and see what it is? Blocks girl. It's got to be.
Ah.
And you're like, is that a ant? Rocket, if you have science, I'll give you a roll.
I do.
And you're like, no. And actually, as a dog, this is so much better that you realize it. You're like, it's an ear mite. And that is where we're going to end the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We're going to hang up now. We're right on time. It's 10:06. Thank you so much. We'll be back next week for some Night's Black Agents. And next couple of weeks for some Deadlands.
Tomorrow
and then,
for some Deadlands.
Yeah, and then Pendragon coming up soon. So.
Next week. Yeah. Well, a week from Tuesday.
Bye, everyone. See ya.